that time of the show where we get to discuss some of those key highlights from the business stories. And you see, I'm pretty much excited about such hours because I get to hear opinions from individuals. I get to hear opinions from my counterparts here, Andrew Barije, and we get to discuss some of those effects on all the impact of such shows. Away from that, rather from the impact of not the show but of these stories. Away from that, let's look at the business branding or branding. Why you should emphasize branding of your products at any one point. But before that, Andrew should introduce himself once more.
Yes, sir. Hello, viewers. I'm Barije Andrew, right here in the segment of the topical discussion. And today we are going to be discussing about the branding. You know, it's very important to have branding in your business. And don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Smart24TV, Twitter at Smart24TV, and Smart24TV/Space Live on YouTube to take the live stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can check the live stream. You can follow us on the situation as well. It's a topic of discussion. Branding. What do you know about branding? What do you understand mostly about it?
Branding to me, it's a way you communicate to the public, and the public is aware of what you deliver to them. Like it's a communication. Okay, the way you organize yourself with your company, the way I don't know. Branding actually is like telling a story about your company in visuals by somebody looking at the brand and they're able to tell what you deliver. That's what I can say.
Oh.
A brief description of who you are and how unique you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just the identity.
Identity.
Because what I understand about branding is it's just making you quite different from the rest of the people. It is not only making you different from the rest of the people, but what makes you unique from the others. Because I guess there is no business in the world which is being done by only one person.
Exactly, of course.
So if you come up with a business idea, it means there is somewhere you saw it, or unless when in a community no one is doing it.
Yeah.
But in the world, just know that there is always someone doing it, as long as it's bringing in money. At least you may be few, but still. Anyway, so businesses should emphasize branding.
Yeah.
Why
should they emphasize branding? First of all, branding, like we've said, it creates uniqueness. It shows you how unique you are reason why branding also is that, like what you've said, you're not the first person that is doing this thing, but don't just brand for the sake of branding. Make sure that actually what you're speaking in your branding is what you do. So it calls for creativity, creativity and innovation as you brand your product. Because I've seen brands and you look at the brand, but when you consume the product, you seem a little bit disappointed. So yeah.
And just so you know, anyone out there, if we had to differentiate for you a brand, and in most cases people have a challenge in knowing what is a brand and what is a logo. Because a logo is, if I'm to say, a brand is like the national ID. Now, a national ID gives identity of who you are. And then there is a logo. Now, a logo is what represents the brand, if you're to understand this. Now, the brand represents who you are or what your business is all about. What does your business do? That is your brand. But the logo is representing the brand, or is the face of the brand. At the end of the day, you can actually change the logo. Changing the logo may not affect the business, but changing your brand can destroy your business greatly. Let us look at MTN Uganda, for instance.
Yeah.
We all know MTN is a brand now.
Yeah, it is a brand.
It is a brand. And if you're to identify MTN, you will identify it by, let's say, its motto. Yeah. Everywhere you go, you know that is MTN.
Exactly.
And that is already a brand.
Yes.
But the logo of MTN, we all know that is MTN's logo is an MTN. It has some yellow, it has some blue.
Blue, yes.
So that is the logo. But that can change with time.
Exactly.
Maybe if the T was blue, the M can become blue.
Blue, yeah.
But still, the brand of MTN will still be there.
Will stay. And actually, what you've said, Brand, in this instance, it's more like the reputation you build in the public of a period of time, determined by what you, first of all, deliver to them, what you put on table for them, and even the quality of what you put, you know, the quantity and the quality you put, you know, and they call it what? Sustenance. Okay, how you can catch up with the pressure around, okay, social, it also comes about to social corporate responsibility. The rate at which you involve yourself in the social corporate responsibility, the affairs, and it's something to do with humanity. It creates, so that it creates that subliminal favor among us, the people. Yeah, so they say, oh, I like this brand. That despite the fact that, yes, things may not be the same, because right now I could be, now like for example, MTN might face issues maybe, time to come. I'm just giving an example, God forbid. But that won't take away the brand it carries. Despite, and actually people, the funny thing is that people may not even pay attention to what it's going through because of that branding. But this is something it has created over a time. So branding, there is a time space to brand. Okay, branding takes time. It's not something, a brand is not something you may get in just 1 month, 1 year, you know. But as you run your enterprise, you have to consider the key factors, you know. It's not all about, actually, and some people think the more profit you make, the stronger your brand is, but it's not like that. It's more of, it takes time to build a brand, trust me. There are challenges associated. And actually, in the process of building a brand, you may incur some losses for the sake of establishing your brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So true. You can, in the case of establishing it, there are losses.
Yeah.
And these losses do happen with time to time. And I guess people should not even worry about it.
Yeah.
Because if you're to look at a situation of, let's say, you're going to get worried of, let's say, a brand. And the biggest worry here is when your brand is Samsung.
Yes.
You're supposed to do things quite separate. Okay, you may be doing the same things as other brands.
Yeah.
But make sure you're protecting it. Because I've actually seen people destroying brands. Have you seen clothing having Abibas?
Yeah, I've seen.
You find a cloth having something like Adiba.
Adibas, yes.
With a logo of Adidas.
Yes.
So that is where you could see the importance of a brand.
A brand, yeah.
So from afar, you can think this is Adidas.
Exactly.
But when you reach the person, it's Abibas. And be like, oh, okay. So you can see the influence of a brand.
Yes.
And if you're in a shop and someone tries to sell to you that product as much as the Adidas branch, as the Adidas brand, you can actually say, no, this is not it.
Exactly.
And I've actually had issues here in Uganda where, surprisingly, Ugandans don't respect brands. That is the truth.
Yeah.
And truth of the matter is, if you look at Ugandans, in Uganda, it is only in Uganda where you can get a Gucci shirt at 2,000. I mean, that is $50.
But is it really Gucci?
No, it is always, remember, Ugandans don't really care. I've actually met some of the Ugandans here. I'm a sports fanatic.
Yeah.
I follow up on you know, their jerseys out there. But in Uganda, a team in Europe can actually put on the market 3 jerseys.
Yes.
Their home kit, the first away kit, the third away kit.
Yes.
That is how it is going to market themselves. Now I'm showing you how Ugandans don't respect brands. Now, in Uganda, they will sell, in Europe, they sell only 2 types. They sell the players version of the jersey.
Okay.
That is the original, what the players wear.
Yes.
Then there is the fans version.
Oh.
And then the third will be maybe the replica, which is quite maybe washed. But in Uganda here, we will have like 5 versions. You will have the fans, players, replica, you have a mini replica. So in all those amounts, you'll find one which does not even fit to be called a jersey. Okay. So that is the impact of branding, where Ugandans don't really realize the importance of branding.
Of branding, yes. I think it's because, first of all, there is this mentality that certain brands, actually, the issue is prices. The mentality we have, like Gucci, somebody may think, oh, Gucci is thinking about like a bigger price, and it's like with this price I can actually get 4 shirts out of that. And I think we've not yet come to realize the significance and the importance of branding. Yes, because even that Gucci shirt you said of 2000, it's not really Gucci. Perhaps some of those words actually are just printed on. It's not really okay. The same applies to the jazz, as you've said. It's just a washed over.
Yes.
I think we've just not yet realized why we need to. Because I've been out there and you ask someone, okay, I wear Versace for what?
So true.
so what? What's the difference? I'm going to go somewhere, I get that very Versace at this price, and I'm going to be smart, even more smarter than you with a brand. So it's like, so what? So that's the challenge, and that's why most of these brands, big brands we hear, besides if it's not a necessity to a Ugandan, they are not really going to respect it. Trust me.
Oh, because if you look at the situation here is Ugandans. I feel Ugandans don't know the impact of a brand.
Exactly.
I always give an example of some bigger brands in toothpaste. Since childhood, we've been calling, I think, it is after people have actually grown up and realized Colgate is a brand.
It's a brand.
Of its own. And not like people normally thought that if it is Delident, you want Delident.
Colgate, I want Colgate.
Bampeo Colgate wa Delident. Bampeo Colgate wa ABC.
Yes.
Bampeo Colgate wa Sensodyne.
Yes.
So you're like, what is Colgate?
What's Colgate? Yeah.
And yet Colgate is also a brand. That shows you the impact of a brand. So Colgate has been making the money at the back of people's minds.
Exactly.
Because it is what people know.
Exactly.
Regardless of whether you're a bigger brand in toothpaste, people still are referring Colgate as your toothpaste.
As your toothpaste.
So which is actually affecting. And that is why people should know that a brand is very important.
Very, very.
Because it identifies you.
Yes.
Now the other one came up with this brand and people thought toothpaste is supposed to be called that name.
It's like petrol stations. Every petrol station.
And people now think
Shell.
every petrol station is Shell.
Yeah, so
Take Shell ya Toto. Take up Shell ya gas.
Yes.
And you're worried and you're like, hey, how come? And so that shows you how these people started up.
The brand, yeah.
And if you look at the story that was even here, it had a tagline saying, if you're starting up a business, you need to emphasize on the brand that you're having.
Yeah, emphasizing the brand.
Because the brand is going to show a lot.
Yes. And the brand is not the logo. Because sometimes people can build very nice logos, but without a brand. We've seen companies with really nice logos, but the brand. Because it doesn't matter how the logo looks like. Somebody can just look at the logo and they just know. Okay, let me just give an example. Let's slide a little bit. If you look at Warner Brothers pictures, they have, I think, one of the logos which are really, they may not be so touching compared to other brands. But the mere fact that a movie starts Warner Brothers pictures, you just know this is a blockbuster and I'm going to spend my money to buy the ticket.
No, I've actually seen some of these translated movies.
Yes.
I'm also with Vijay Jr.
Yes.
And he actually says, the Castola Bono. Oh, it's like, if you see this brand, just know this is going to be a thriller. It's going to be a blockbuster. It's going to be a romantic.
Exactly.
They are known for this and this.
Perfect.
So when you're going for the movies and you see their logo, you definitely know that this brand of the production is meant for this type of movie. And you're definitely going to put your money knowingly that you're going to enjoy it.
Exactly. For example, me, okay, we are just sliding a little bit, but we are still on topic. I like whenever a movie starts and they see Universal Pictures, regardless of the content, subliminally I'm just meant to believe this is a blockbuster, and I give it attention. But because of the what? The brand they've created for over time. Universal, they are Universal. So it shows you the power of branding for a business person out there. Brand yourself, brand. And brand actually comes with, like we said, it's not the logo, but it comes with your outlook, first of all. Because your personality itself is a brand. You are representing your company. You know that. Your interactions, charisma, let me say something like that. I mean, the way you relate with the public creates a brand in you, that, can I say respect? I don't know how, I'm trying to find a good word to bring it up, but I guess the viewers can really get this, you know, that branding is not a logo. Let's just clarify that. Yes.
No, it's just in simple terms. If I don't know, if you can look at the screen here, it is we're having Smart 24. So the brand is Smart 24.
Exactly.
It's the channel. Now, if you look at Smart 24 driving business, now the logo is this green and goldish thing that you're seeing, which also takes the motto. Exactly. That is the logo of Smart 24.
Exactly.
But the brand itself is Smart Business.
Smart Business.
Because we do drive the business stories.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's just like when you look at Samsung.
Yeah.
Just like when you call it Samsung, but the way they brand it, or the format of writing, is the logo is the design of the logo, or even the clear one can be Puma, or if you've seen Puma, they have something like a cheetah.
Yes.
So that is the logo.
Yes.
But Puma is the brand. The logo just represents the brand.
The brand, exactly.
Yes. Yeah. So if you look at that, the logo just represents the brand. Adidas is the one that has something like a pyramid. Yes. So you can see how these people have actually tried so much to do their brands.
Though still a nice logo still is fine. It doesn't mean that people should neglect because even that the outlook that logo that represents your company is part of the branding. It's actually part. You know, if it's really catchy and attracting and it's really matching with what you tell the public you do. Excellence, because we want 100% excellence. Yes.
Oh, yes, and I guess everyone out there should normally understand the impact of branding in business. Branding is quite important for any business out there, and greatly because chikuyamba gwe omuntu wajja n'agamba ati njagala tugambe ojja kwe branding ugambe yo JP Live. JP Live oyogerera emikolo oyogerera events, what makes you different from the others?
Yeah.
So your brand is JP Live. And maybe if you have your logo, you try to design it somehow. Yeah. But the brand is the face of you. It is just like having a national ID, and that is your identity.
Yeah.
And when someone is actually looking for you, they will look for the NIN number. So the logo may be a sign on your national ID.
Yes.
Because your signature can change any day.
Yeah.
So that is the logo. It's just like a signature on that phone. Like if you look at iPhone, I think their logo is the apple.
The apple, yes.
That has actually been beat
yes. On the sides.
Yeah. So I think that is it. And at the end of the day, if by the time we shall be concluding with the topical discussion of this, we shall also get to give you that same story of branding and of what importance should branding be. Yeah. And away from that, if you're to help us know branding in Uganda, and if you're to look, where is the weakness of branding?
First of all, the weakness is that many people don't really mind about. We are so much into doing these businesses. Let me put it in Uganda. You just want to do your thing somewhere, and you deliver to the population you can reach out to. But I think the issue is we need to focus and have a future, knowing that the things we're doing, we are not doing it for ourselves, but we are doing it to benefit the country at large. So because what builds countries is the people, and those people create brands. For example, just a little slide. The men who built America created brands for themselves. So it's just not all about. The reason why actually we don't really emphasize branding here in Uganda, it's because we do things thinking about day-to-day things. But a brand is something, even though you are away from your business, it's going to still exist years to come. Standard Oil up to now is still operating. JP Morgan, they are still there. So we should emphasize branding as Ugandans. The reason being, like I said, we just think of today. That's the only challenge about that. But if we could change our mindset and know that, yes, we are building future brands. Spear Motors is a brand. Even though Wavamuno one day woke up and is away. Mulwana, the one of this milk company, he created a brand. So imagine it was just this person, his dream was just have a kiosk. Would you really mind to get a brand? But he had a vision for this nation.
Okay, so true, and branding still plays a very pivotal role in business, and I hope you're going to pick something out of it. First of all, let's first head into a break. We shall return shortly with more of the discussion, and later on with the segment of entertainment business. This is SMB.